views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Bronxnet or the program underwriters.
Straight ahead on this edition of Perspectives, I'll introduce you to an organization that's dedicated to fostering a holistic approach to parenting within underserved communities. Here, we're going to talk about all of that and much more on this edition of Perspectives with yours truly, Darren Jaime.
What's on your mind?
Let 'em know.
Express what's on your mind. What's on your mind?
Let 'em know. Anything relevant to life, you bring it to the table. Whether you make a move solo or a movement with a stable. No fables, you speak on your decisions. Cause in the long run, it's your voice, your views, your vision. Keeping it real with many messages for you to know. This ain't radio, but DJ runs the show. Entertainment, he rocks it. Politics, he locks it. The host with the most would handle any topic. Don't forget to share your perspective with shines of light. Cause it might make a difference in someone else's life.
Make a difference.
What's your perspective?
Express what's in your heart and your mind. Share your perspective.
What's your perspective?
And welcome to Perspectives. I am Darren Jaime, and of course, we thank you for watching. You can watch Perspectives every week live here on Bronxnet Television, as well as check us out on social media, Facebook and Twitter. And then you can also check me out on my professional page, Darren C. Jaime, and get some inspiration, words of a different sort. Well, we invite you to take advantage of that. But we want to tell you that when you share your perspective with us, it does make a difference because we have the opportunity to talk about a variety of different topics and different things. On today's show, a very special topic, a very special young lady. She uses the prejudices and challenges that she once faced as a young mother as her motivation to start her organization. Her mission is to increase habits of long-term self-sufficiency and independence parenting young women as well as men. Now, under Samora's leadership, 85% of the young women and men referred to her organization have completed parenting classes. Here now to tell us all about it is her plans to bring her program to our borough is Samora Coles, who's the founder and director of the Alex House Project. And welcome to Perspectives.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. You're making such a huge impact in the borough of Brooklyn and across, and you're trying to make this impact really citywide.
Yeah.
Talk to us about some of the work that's going on and what exactly the Alex House Project is all about.
So I'll take you back for a few seconds because I have to tell my truth first in order for folks to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I was a young mom at the age of 17. I lived with my grandparents, and my grandparents were not your today's type of grandparents. They were already old, respectfully speaking, grandparents. And so they didn't know exactly how to deal with the teen parent. So I went to my local school, confided in a counselor about my situation, and I was given a choice. The choice was to either become a parent or become a student, but you can't do both. Not knowing that I did have rights as a teen parent, I knew I had rights as an educational student. So I made the decision to become a parent. So with that being said, that's the background of why this came about in my mind. Fast forward to 2006, I was working for another nonprofit organization called the Red Hook Initiative, which is in Red Hook. And my director at the time asked me to come up with a program to serve people in my neighborhood. And I said to her, lady, I just need to take care of my kid. I'm not interested in anything else. But what I did was I went back in my head and I said, okay, if there's gonna be a group of folks to help, it has to be young moms because I was a young mom and I had no idea what I was doing. Didn't have a job, dropped out of school. I wasn't homeless, thank goodness for that, but didn't have the ins and out of parenting. And so I started with a small group of moms just coming to see me just to kick it, just to have conversation. And these moms were traveling from all over New York City, particularly from Queens. And if you know anything about the Red Hook in Queens, it's almost a 2-hour ride on the subway from start to finish. And I asked one young lady, I said, listen, let me help you find a program in your neighborhood. Don't come all the way to Red Hook. And she said, Miss Samora, but when I go to those programs, they talk about me. She's 15 with 2 kids. They talk about me. They ostracize me. They punish me. But when I come to you, I get to talk. I get to express my feelings. I get to share my story, and I get to help. And so that was my aha moment, so to speak, which had me do the concept of the Alex House Project. Fast forward a little bit more, 2013, I made the decision to become a full-fledged founder of the organization on paper. And so I walked into my local daycare facility. They were just brand new opening up, and asked them for some space, just to have some papers and posters and markers, because I was going to do these awesome workshops for young moms. And they said no. They said, you're going to just leave us paper and go out and take the good stuff outside? So they said, no, you need to stay here.
Wow.
So I said, well, I'm not going to argue with you. If I need to, I'll stay right here. And so shout out to the Bumblebees RS Daycare for housing me since 2013. And since 2013 to present, I've helped serve over 185 families, including their children, in parenting skills and support services. The uniqueness about this program is that I'm not the teacher. I'm not the person who knows everything. This program is ran by the parents that are supported by. So young moms as young as 15 or oldest 25 come in, they receive parenting educational support by other young parents. They get support services through the parents, through linkages through the parents. And then they come back and train to deliver those same techniques that they were taught to other incoming parents. So it's a 360 mentoring perspective for them. And at the end, they're able to gain some soft skills, workable skills. They're employable. Some of them have even gone back to school or college. We do have a couple of moms who are in college right now. And so the goal of the organization is to be able to have families become self-sufficient, financially self-sufficient. Right. And it starts with parenting. Because,
so walk me through the parenting phase. What kind of conversation do you have with them once they enter in?
Yeah.
And what kind of conversations are they having amongst themselves? Because you let them do a lot of the talking as
yeah.
well.
So our curriculum is evidence-based. So we use the Nurturing Parenting curriculum. The curriculum itself is 27 classes. We don't do 27 classes. We cherry pick for the needs of the people that we serve. So we use 16 out of the 27 evidence-based classes through the Nurturing Parenting program. And these classes are nurturing classes. So they're not your typical how to feed a baby, how to hold a baby, although we do talk about that. But these are more on the nurturing side, how to co-parent, how to discipline your child without spanking, those type of interactive classes. And we use the kids as part of the process. So the children come to the classes as well. So we have a mom, and if she's already have her child, the child is welcome to the program. And then at the end of her workshop, the child is reintroduced back to the parent, and we do what we call like a role play or skit to act out what we just learned in real time.
Right. All right, well, let me just take a quick break, come back a little bit more.
Sure.
Talk about the Alex House Project. Got an event coming up. You may want to participate. Stay with us. Coming back with more right after this.
We built a media network for you.
Bronxnet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on Bronxnet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at bronxnet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. Bronxnet TV.
From the Bronx
to the world.
Bronxnet.
When I was in high school, I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home, and that's hard when you feel like you're doing it alone. That's when I met an artist, my mom, as I'll call her. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but your future is more important. She's my strength. Just being a support for those hard days and those hard nights, not giving up on me. Thank you to my mama. I wouldn't have did this if it wasn't for her. Today is for my mama and everybody who had my back. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. Some people would think, well, maybe it's really not that big of a deal, but it really is. It changes your whole life.
find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
And we are back here on Perspectives. Daren Jaime here with you, and Samora Cole's our guest, talking about the Alex House Project. And you shared a little bit about, the great work that's going on and how this is infiltrating into the lives of young mothers. And I want to let you know that, when we talk about young mothers, sometimes they don't get the fair pass. There's a lot of stereotyping, judgmental. You do a good job breaking down these barriers, don't you?
Yes, I tried my best.
Yeah. And so talk to us about what some of the barriers you feel are for some of these young women that you really try to deal with and encourage them.
So some of the barriers, and this barrier could be across from young moms to older adult moms, is childcare. Childcare is a very necessity tool for young parents or parents to be able to go back to school or to be gainfully employed. The other concern that we have, one of the things that we work with, is potential housing for young parents, because some of our young parents, respectfully speaking, are maybe under the age of 18. They may not be eligible for housing at that time because they're under either the state as foster care or they're either still living with their parents. So it's a way we're trying to work out, like, how do we navigate that system, housing for a young parent, when now they become a family within a family.
And on November the 1st, you have a very special event for for the project.
Yes. So this year we turned 5 years old. We turned 5 February 1st, so we had 3 events this year, and November 1st is our last year of celebration, because 5 years old is a big deal.
It's a major milestone, right?
Yeah, so we're having an event it's not a fundraiser, but it has fundraising in it. And so we're asking folks to either donate a friendly fun gift of $50 or more. If you can. But the goal is to recruit people who believe in young people who also believe in families to become everyday investors, whether it be through volunteering, whether it be annual giving, whether it be through resources. We want to recruit folks who want to reinvest their time and themselves back into the lives of young families.
So November the 1st is the day, and you go down to in Selden, Brooklyn, 899 Bergen.
Yes.
And if you come to 899 Bergen, you can be a part of that very special celebration on November the 1st.
Yes.
Now, you've made tremendous impact with young mothers, but I want to get into this because you're not just dealing with young mothers, you're also dealing with young fathers, and this came about, by accident?
Yes, totally by accident. As you can hear from my story, this was based off of my personal experience as a mom. And so when I want to say a year and a half ago, in the spring of 2016, there was a group of young men who knocked on the daycare door looking for me. And one of my moms at the time said, "Miss Samora, some guys are here to see you." And these were your we go to school, Ivy League looking guys. These were around the way guys who looked a little rough around the edges. And so when they said, "Are you Samora?" I said, "Who's asking?"
Right.
And then they said, "Well, you do the mommy thing, right?" And then I said, "Oh yeah, I do." And so they said, "Well, what about us?" And I said, "What do you mean, what about us?" And they said, "Well, we need help too." And then it dawned on me. That was my second aha moment. And I said, of course they need help. Like, how can I leave them out? Like, they are the missing piece.
Right.
And so I set them up for failure because I didn't want to be bothered. Like, again, I tell my truth. And I said, listen, how about you come every Friday with your kids in the summertime and I'll have something for you. And I said to myself, they're not coming. And for 7 Fridays in the summer of 2016, I had 8 guys with their kids doing no heat cooking classes, talking about issues that concern them as fathers. And I was so overwhelmingly taken back because 1, they looked at me and they trusted me as a woman. 2, I live in the neighborhood that they live in, so they looked at me as a resource, and they made me put my foot in my mouth. So I said, okay, well, if that's going to happen, then I need to make room for them too, because if I'm going to do families, if I'm going to talk about families, I have to include the fathers, because they do matter as well. And so I started doing almost the same thing with the moms. The dads had to play a little catch up because they just started. And so they have classes once a week, while the moms have classes almost 2 to 3 times a week. But something was happening that I wasn't prepared for, because I normally work with custodial parents, which are the moms.
Right.
Never worked with the non-custodial parent, which are usually the dads. And so when I would start to hire these dads to be peer mentors, of course they go on payroll, and if you owe child support, then child support comes in and says, I have to start garnishing these wages. Wow. So I was like, oh gosh, how can I say I'm helping and I'm taking at the same time? As a regular employer, it's none of my business if you owe child support, but I'm not a regular employer. Right. And so my role as a founder and executive director of this program that I built is to make sure that you are financially successful. And in order to do that, I need to find a way that you can continue to work, earn a living, get your education, and take care of your children. So we started working with the Office of Child Support Services, where there's programs that a young dad may not necessarily know that's out there, but only through an organization like mine that he can help bring down his child support arrears. Not take them off, because you still have to do that, but bring down the arrears. Wow. And so what we do with that is we help dads who are at age 30 and under, because that's our cap for young fathers. We help them with that process. So right now we're working with Child Support Services for the month of October to help dads, if they could come up with a minimum of $500, which sometimes is really hard to get. The city will match that $5. And now you've gotten your arrears down to from $1,000 to $1,000, excuse me. And so for some of our dads, that's like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. And so I want to make sure, like, my goal is that I'm not taking away from the family, I'm adding to the family. And so I just have to find ways to make sure that happens.
So where are you at today with your needs? I mean, you're growing, you're expanding. Where are you at?
So we need space, our own space. Right now, since 2013, like I said earlier, we've been housed in a nice little cozy room inside of Bumblebee Daycares, which I love and appreciate from the bottom of my heart. But as a grown organization, we can't stay there. The daycare has its own policy and regulations about folks, not just me, but people in general. So we need to have programming happening all times of the year. We need to have program happening during regular business hours. And so right now, because we're in a situation where we can only have programming happening from the hours of 4 to 8, life doesn't work like that. Life works, most working life is from either 8 to 5 or 9 to 6 or in between those hours. Right. And the reason being that we also need to move is because the people that we're now recruiting, we started off with five moms. It's like over 100 of them now. Like, where are they going to go for their classes?
So you go from 5 to 100?
Yes. Wow. And so we need a space. And so we're hoping that we can stay in Red Hook because that's where we were born from. But we definitely need a space to get out, to expand.
Talk a little bit more about that space and how maybe somebody could help and possibly get the space for Samora and those 100 young ladies and those young men to have an opportunity to get some services, much needed services in the community. Taking a quick break, be back with more right after this.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school. Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
I know.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
And we are back here, Our Perspectives. Darren Jaime here with you, talking with Samora Coles, talking about the Alex House Project. And for somebody, I don't know if we even talked about it at the beginning, but share with us, where'd you get the name Alex House Project?
So interesting. It is named after my son, Alex. And the project is because we have many different activities going on. We have the parenting project going on. We have the Train the Trainer, which is the program where the young parents are trained to become peer mentors. And then we have our Community Cooks program where we offer the opportunity for local people who in our neighborhood who cook and want to provide meals to us, and we offer them a stipend to do so.
So they get an opportunity to provide a meal, and then they get a stipend as well.
Yes. So during the course of our parenting cycle, which is 8 weeks long, people in the community are recruited to become our in-house cooks. And so, there's always been folks in the neighborhood that cook in the house, right? And so they sell meals, they sell dinners. So why not bring that skill to us? And what happens is throughout that process, these people determine whether they want to become an entrepreneur and this is something that they want to build on as a caterer, or they say, well, I didn't know it was going to be this hard, let me not do it. But it gives them the opportunity to become embedded in the community and serve at the same time.
Awesome. So for people who want to get involved, how do they go about getting involved with you? And we talked about the needs for you possibly needing a building or some space. So what can they do?
So they can email me directly. My email is Samora, SAMORA, @alexhouseproject.org. Or they can call my cell phone, 347-792-2109. They can also reach out on our website because there's a direct email link from the website to me. The website is www.alexhouseproject.org.
Oh, that's amazing, amazing, amazing. So, when we talked about the conceptions about young mothers, working with these young fathers, obviously, as you said, help you put your foot in your mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your takeaway? You know, because you know, guys don't always go to guys.
Yeah.
But you find that they come to you. A little bit of the motherly role, but they trust you.
Yes. One of the things that I also am aware of too is that because they are actually, they don't know it, but they are actually helping me create the work atmosphere in my organization because we're a startup. And so because we were basically women, they still see just women roles. And sometimes young men, African-American men, or young men generally, they need to see men in positions where they can go and say, okay, I need to sit down and talk to this guy because I'm going through something, instead of just always running to a mama-like figure or a grandma-like figure. And so I respect the fact that they trust me, but I also understand that they need to see people like you who work in an organization like mine to be able to go and have these conversations with.
Yeah, exposure makes all the difference.
Yes.
All the difference in the world. So
Yeah.
once again, we'll give it, under Samora's leadership, 85% of the young women and men referred to her classes have actually completed their parenting class. How's that feel for you?
It's awesome. It's a really good feeling to know that, I guess if you want to say my hiccup of becoming a teen mom was actually the script that was being written, I didn't know, for today's work.
And when you think about it, like you're going through it, you don't know what it really takes you to.
Yeah.
And now to see it, what's that feel like for you?
Yeah, it's a different level. It's something that really can't be explained, but it's a feeling of achievement. It's a feeling of, okay, I still have work to do. I get up every day with this goal on my mind. My whole life is this. And not because, and I'm not just an employee of the Alex House Project, which I just became 2 years ago. So, but it was because this is something that is more passionate for me. And so I know what could be changed with the moms and the dads. So it's my goal to just help push them forward.
Well, Samora Coles, thank you for coming and sharing with us. She's
Thank
the
you for
founder and
having
executive
me.
director of the Alex House Project. Thank you. And you got to come back and share. And when you get the
Absolutely.
building or the space, whatever, make
Yes.
sure you let us know, okay?
Absolutely.
All righty. Samora Coles, our guest here in studio, talking about the Alex House Project. We're about out of time here for this edition of Perspectives. I am Darren Jaime, thanking you for watching Perspectives. Remember, you can check us out every week. Until the next time we meet, stay safe, everybody, and make sure you share your perspective with somebody else. You never know. It just might make a difference in someone else's life. Take care and God bless.
Because it might make a difference in someone else's life. What's your perspective?